I was dead on target the first time I held a gun, and hit the bullseye 6,000 kilometers away. But on the day I awakened my power, I skipped the archer class that had 200% compatibility with me, and picked the shadow assassin that everyone looks down on. Everyone thought I had lost my mind. But what they don't know is, soon the game will descend upon the other world, and the gods will invade Earth at that time. If I picked the archer class, the best I could do is trade my life for a god's. But Shadow Assassin paired with Sniper God talent gives a way better 1+1/2 buff effect. As the countdown ended, I logged into the Celestial game again, but I didn't run off to grind mobs and level up right away. Instead, I went to the hunter's house in the novice village. In my past life, a player accidentally talked to this hunter and triggered a hidden quest directly, and got the only unique item in the entire server. And it was exactly this item that got him into the top 10 players list. Now that I'm doing this all over again, of course I'm going to grab this item for myself. So I pushed through the crowd to the hunter and said arrogantly, "I want to buy the exotic beast dragon bone." The second I said that, the hunter jolted and stared daggers at me with his sharp eyes. "Where did you hear about this?" If my answer didn't satisfy him, I'd probably get stabbed by his sword. But I wasn't scared at all when I heard that. We players can respawn. Even if you kill me right now, it's useless. After hearing that, a sneer appeared on the hunter's face. "I don't want to sell it. What are you going to do about it?" "I can't do anything to you, that's true. But don't you want to kill the Wolf King for revenge?" "I'll kill the Wolf King for you. And you give me the exotic beast dragon bone." I know the hunter has a lame leg, because the Wolf King attacked him, though I don't really get how a hunter who can get exotic beast dragon bone got his ass kicked by the novice village Wolf King. But that doesn't matter. As long as I can trigger the quest, my words obviously hit the hunter's weak spot. But he sized me up and said disdainfully, "You think you can kill the Wolf King with that weak skill? How I kill the Wolf King is none of your business. I'll bring you the Wolf King's head in 3 days. But in exchange, you have to give me the exotic beast dragon bone right now." My words made the hunter fall into deep thought. He risked his life so many times to get the exotic beast dragon bone. He originally planned to use it to get stronger, but he ended up having bad luck, got ambushed by the Wolf King, lost a leg, and became completely useless. It's no use keeping the exotic beast dragon bone anymore. He might as well get his revenge. "Fine, I can give you the exotic beast dragon bone. But don't forget your promise." With that said, the hunter pulled a wooden box from under the bed and handed it to me. "Ding, you have obtained a special item, exotic beast dragon bone. Effect 1, exotic beast blessing. Gain 5 extra free attribute points per level up. Effect 2, hunting time. Gain 1 evolution point for every 100 mobs killed or 1 boss killed. Can only be used on equipment or skills. Points required to evolve, the same target will increase. Current evolution points 1. No wonder it's a unique item. These stats are freaking awesome. I left the hunter's cottage without looking back. The fact that I took a wooden box from the hunter shocked a lot of players. "Dude, this guy must be cheating, Lao Deng. Hand over your quest right now." I ignored them and activated Shadow Walk directly. Moving in the shadows, I started checking out my talents and skills.
Sniper God Talent Effect 1.
All long-range attacks are guaranteed to hit and deal true damage. Effect 2. For every meter further you are from the target, damage increases by 10%. Perfect. Shadow Assassins can use energy to create shadow daggers. Pair this with the Shadow Break skill. You can deal super high burst damage from far away. Also, as long as you don't break stealth. Stealth duration is unlimited. That's exactly what I planned for at the start. The only downside is, Shadow Walk has a 20-second cooldown. Looks like I need to shorten the cooldown first. But then I was shocked to find the Shadow Walk cooldown was already finished. Normal assassins only start counting cooldown after they break stealth, right? But I can wait for the cooldown. While I'm still in stealth mode, use Shadow Break to attack, then re-stealth immediately. Safety is maxed out, this is so cool. Using stealth. I arrived at Boar Plain. Mobs here start at level 5. Almost no players come here right now. I then looked at the boars in the distance. I throw the shadow dagger right away. I can clearly feel that the moment I make my move. An invisible force adjusts my posture, making my throw faster and more accurate. That's the hidden effect of the Sniper God talent. Since I'm not using a firearm, I don't get that ridiculously long range. But looking at it now, 30 meters might not be my limit. I initially set 30 meters as the limit, based on my past life experience. After all, level 1 players have low stats. Their capabilities are pretty limited. But as it turns out right now, the Sniper God talent does more than what it says on the tin. It has other perks too. Just as I'm thinking about this, the Shadow Dagger has already traveled over 30 meters and hits the wild boar right in the belly. 329 HP. I'm a little bummed there's no crit. Maybe next time I can aim for vital spots like the eyes. With the Sniper God adjustment, I'll most likely hit it. The wild boar in the distance gets hit out of nowhere and immediately flies into a rage. It locks onto me super fast, lowers its head and gets ready to charge. But the next second, the boar loses its target and is totally confused. In the shadows far away, I think for a second and stay put waiting for my skill to cool down. 10 seconds later, Shadow Dagger is off cooldown. I throw another dagger right away. This time I deliberately aim for the boar's eye. 494 HP. Weak point hit. The boar that was nibbling grass to regen HP doesn't make a sound and drops dead on the spot. Killed level 5 wild boar. Gained 50 EXP. That's a 4-level gap kill right there. Sure enough, the giant god talent adjusts my movements, so I can hit exactly what I aim for. Right now, I might not be a top-tier dagger expert, but I'm at least a first-class one. After finding this out, I immediately revise my grinding plan. No exaggeration here. I think even from 100 meters away, I can hit a wild boar with perfect accuracy. Once Shadow Walk is off cooldown, I enter stealth mode again, but this time I stand 40 meters away, even though I'm confident I can hit a boar from 100 meters away. There's no need to do that. If it drops equipment, I'd have to run all the way over to pick it up. Anyway, a 40-meter range plus weak point hits are enough to one-shot level 5 wild boars. Then I flick my wrist, and the black Shadow Dagger flies out silently. The boar that's lowering its head to eat grass has no idea that the shadow of death is already upon it. 657 HP. The boar's HP bar empties instantly. As expected, not even a single pig hair dropped. I'm totally calm about this. I grinded in God's domain for 10 years. I've long known how scummy this game is. The difficulty is crazy high, and the drop rate is absurdly low. But I'm not expecting these small mobs to drop good stuff anyway. If you want good gear, you have to farm bosses. All I gotta do next is grind like crazy. So I become a wild boar killer, popping up everywhere in the tall grass. Every hit is a one-shot kill. You have reached level 2. Gained 5 free attribute points. Shadow power is gathering. You gain an extra 5 free attribute points. Exotic Beast Blessing activated. Gained another 5 free attribute points. The string of notifications makes me stop in my tracks. Even hidden classes have differences in power level, plus the attribute points from the Exotic Beast Skull. I get 20 attribute points total per level up. That's double what regular players get. I plan to distribute them in a 2-1 ratio between agility and strength. Agility is the main stat for assassins. Without better equipment, I need to raise strength to get more attack power. This time I set my sights on level 7 wild boars further away. I condense a Shadow Dagger in my hand, raise my hand and throw it. 782 HP. The damage has gone up a lot, but against the wild boar with way higher HP, I can't take it out with a single hit. The attacked boar lets out an angry howl, lowers its head and starts charging. I frown slightly, activate Shadow Walk, and vanish from where I stood. By the time the boar reaches my previous spot, I'm already over 10 meters away. Then I wait for Shadow Dagger to cool down again, and the low-health boar drops dead right away. Ding, killed level 7 wild boar, gained 105 EXP. I can clearly see my EXP bar. Jump forward a little bit, but I'm not happy with this result. Compared to killing a level 7 boar with 2 daggers, I'd rather one-shot level 5 wild boars. The latter's base EXP plus extra bonuses give a higher overall efficiency. Do I really have to go back to the village to buy a bow and arrows? After doing some quick math, I don't think this plan makes much sense. Yeah, I do have the Sniper God talent. Even if the damage is reduced when using a bow, I can still deal pretty high damage. But if I can't one-shot them, I have to kite them with movement. It's not that I can't do that. It's that my level is too low. I'll easily draw aggro from all the nearby boars. If my agility is too low, regular players can't outrun boars that have the charge skill. Instead of running all over the place, I'm better off staying further away. To test my theory, I immediately aimed at a boar 80 meters away. At that distance, the boar was just a tiny dot, but I could still see it perfectly clearly. And I just knew in my gut, if I took the shot, I would definitely hit it. The next second, there was a whooshing sound. The black throwing knife flew straight out. Right before my eyes, the blade kept fading away. It finally turned into shadow energy at the 50-meter mark and dissipated into the air. I couldn't help frowning. Guess my stats are still too low. I turned my gaze to a level 6 boar nearby. 900 HP perfect. You're the one. Weak point hit, 976 HP lost. The level 6 boar that was casually grazing died instantly. The EXP was pretty decent too. Still only need a dozen or so boars to level up. This time I put all my free attribute points all into agility. The damage boost from increasing strength is limited. Right now, most of my damage output comes from the Shadow Stealth Uncloak damage, and the fixed damage of the Uncloak Strike accounts for the largest share of that. That being the case, I might as well not add any strength. Just dump all points into agility. But just as I kept one-shotting boars, a team was quietly heading towards Boar Plain. Brother Kun, can we beat boars at our level? Even the lowest level ones there are level 5. Don't worry about it. Brother Kun is a hidden class heavy armor warrior. His defense is over 3 times that of regular players. And Xiaozhe is a divine fire priest. She can add holy damage to all our attacks. That's more than enough to break through the boar's defense. Oh, that makes sense. I was overthinking it. Just as everyone was chatting, suddenly a player in the team holding a longbow pointed at a boar in the distance and said in shock, "Someone got here even earlier than us." The leading heavy armor warrior looked around, looking confused. Why don't I see any other teams to kill boars? You need at least a full squad. Before he even finished speaking, he saw a level 6 boar in the distance drop dead with a thud. Not just that, a glowing orb also dropped next to it with a plop. Judging by the icon, that's a piece of equipment. The archer in the team got excited right away. Did that boar just die on its own? He said that as he got ready to run over and pick up the gear. But before he could even take a step, team leader Brother Kun pulled him back. There's someone here. The archer looked up. A figure was slowly appearing. After glancing at them from far away, it disappeared again. It happened so fast. The archer wondered if he'd seen wrong. He looked back at the other teammates. They all looked totally confused too. It looked like there was someone there. And then there wasn't. The heavy armor warrior looked at the assassin in the team. That's the assassin's stealth skill, right? The assassin nodded, then shook his head and explained, "The skill effect does look like stealth. But the problem is you can't use stealth right after breaking cover. You have to wait for the cooldown." The heavy armor warrior pressed on. "Could it be Strong Shadow?" The assassin shook his head hard. "No way, Strong Shadow is an advanced skill. Players at this level can't learn it yet. Brother Kun had already figured it out by now. That player is definitely an assassin with a hidden class." That got Brother Kun thinking. He's determined to build the #1 guild in Celestial God. He can't afford to miss out on a pro like this. So the heavy armor warrior had an idea and yelled towards the spot where the figure disappeared. "I'm Brother Kun. I'd love to make friends with you." I was stunned for a second while in stealth. It's actually him. In my past life, I interacted with Brother Kun a lot because we were both heavy armor warriors. We fought hard for the #1 spot on the warrior leaderboard. We both gave it our all. I ended up winning thanks to my more suitable talent. Running into Brother Kun now, I couldn't help feeling how much things have changed. As for Brother Kun's recruitment offer, of course I wasn't going to accept it. But Brother Kun seemed like a decent guy to make friends with. With that in mind, I stopped advancing first. I checked the friend request Brother Kun sent me. I accepted it right away. After a quick small talk, I firmly turned down their team invitation. I started moving forward again, getting ready to grind for levels. I stuffed the previously dropped gear into my bag, took a quick look at its stats. Boar hide armor. Normal grade +2 constitution, +20 defense. Required equip level 6. I can't wear it for now. Gotta keep it in storage first. Not long after I left, a wild boar suddenly charged at Brother Kun's team. Brother Kun didn't have time to react. Got knocked back 3 steps. His HP bar dropped to almost 0 immediately. Luckily, the priest in their team was quick. The precast healing spell landed right away, topped Brother Kun's HP back to full, then cast Divine Fire Mark on all teammates. Their operations were super smooth. The assassin and archer on the team stopped standing by too, pulled out their weapons and started dealing damage. 5 HP pop-ups kept showing up. At the same time, fixed damage from Divine Fire Mark kept popping up too. They looked tiny next to the boar's giant HP bar. After a messy fight, Brother Kun's team finally killed the level 5 wild boar and won the fight. Meanwhile, after a few tries, at a distance of 50 meters, I was already totally comfortable with it, just waiting for my stats to go up, so I can stay even further away. I threw a throwing knife and one-shot a distant boar. I successfully reached level 3. I put all 15 free stat points into agility. My agility stat hit a crazy 37 points. Even if a regular assassin player puts all points into agility, they need to be at least level 6 or 7 to reach that high of an agility stat. Grabbing the exotic beast Dragonbone first was definitely the right call. The moment I thought I only need to kill around 60 more wild boars to get 1 evolution point, I got super excited right away, but that's not enough to evolve Shadow Stealth again. Unless a boss spawns. Oh right, how did I forget that? My eyes lit up. There's a rule in Tianshan. If a player repeatedly kills the same type of monster, in large numbers in a short time, the corresponding boss will spawn. And the easiest monster to grind in the novice village is slime, if nothing goes wrong. After all the crazy slaughter by players, the slime boss should be spawning really soon. As I thought that, I caught a glimpse of Brother Kun's team, leaving behind a boar with only 1-3 HP left, running straight for the novice village without looking back. I knew the boss had spawned here. Without any hesitation, I headed towards the novice village too. That's when my 37 agility points showed their advantage. I easily overtook Brother Kun's team. Right outside the novice village, tons of players were rushing forward excitedly. Out of the way. This boss is mine. Oh, it's yours just because you say so. Did you write your name on it? This area is reserved by our Lucia temple. Get lost now if you don't want to die. What a garbage guild. You think you can reserve the whole area? Eat my blade, suckers. Outside the novice village, an extra giant slime was bouncing around, gobbling up players one bite at a time, crunchy as fried chicken, but that didn't stop the players' excitement at all. This is the first boss of the novice village after all. It's definitely gonna drop good loot. But soon some players noticed something was wrong. Why can't we deal any damage at all? They checked the boss stats again. Its defense is as high as 250 points. The Slime King shook its body, completely unharmed, kept chasing players and chomping them like carrots. But there were quite a few hidden class players among the crowd. Using their class advantages, they could deal a decent amount of damage. All that damage added up and took off a layer of the Slime King's HP. Even players who couldn't break its defense had no intention of backing off at all. There's another rule in Tianshan. During open-world boss fights, if no player or team deals over 50% of the total damage, then the loot ownership will be randomly assigned to one of all the players who joined the fight. In other words, everyone has a chance to get god-tier gear. Plus, this place is right outside the novice village. Players can run back to their corpse and revive super easily, which made everyone even more reckless. Seeing the boss's HP already dropped by 5%, the guild leaders were super anxious. They swore to get the first server kill, but if their total damage isn't high enough, it's all for nothing. While everyone was busy scheming, a huge damage number popped up above. The Slime King's head, 976 weakness attack. Sniper God is truly a 3S tier talent. It can even adjust predicted attacks. I just flung a dagger at the Slime King's eye just now, but I didn't have high hopes for it. This slime bounces way faster than regular rabbits after all. It was moving so fast it almost left after images. Even landing a hit on it is hard enough, let alone hitting its weak spot. But I pulled it off anyway. That once again proves how overpowered the Sniper God talent is. After throwing the Shadow Dagger, I immediately used Shadow Step and glanced at the boss's status at the same time. Giant Slime King. Black Iron Tier Boss. Level 5. Happy Faram 642. Atika 3 Fire. Def Duiha. Skills. Bounce and Mucus Breath. This Slime King has been spawned for a few minutes now, and has been attacked by hundreds of players. It only lost 5% of its HP so far. But with one dagger throw from me, I dealt almost 1,000 damage straight up. At this damage rate, I can outdamage all other player teams in 1 minute. But I didn't let my guard down, because more players are rushing back, including elite teams like Brother Kun's squad. According to the Heavenly God's rules, if I can't deal over 50% of the total decisive damage, I can't 100% guarantee I'll get the loot. Right now I can deal almost 3,000 damage per minute. To get over half of the required decisive damage, I need 8 minutes, but the number of players is increasing. There are way too many variables in 8 minutes. Besides, this is the first boss in Novice Village. Dealing such high damage will definitely make me public enemy number 1. If I show myself, I'll definitely get swarmed. For a moment there, I was a bit stuck. Am I going to miss out on this? While I was thinking to myself, other players were already losing their minds. What's going on? We all had a shot at the loot just now. Then where did this ridiculously high damage number come from? Let's find that guy first. Otherwise, this round of loot won't belong to us at all. Then some players started spamming skills at the spot I appeared earlier, trying to kill me while I'm in stealth mode. Hiding in the shadows, I was still scared. Good thing I can change shadow steps seamlessly, or these crazy players would have killed me for sure. After the dagger cooldown ended, I struck again. 976 HP, a huge damage figure popped up. The slime boss's HP bar dropped by a clearly visible amount. The surrounding players stared with wide eyes, trying to find the suspicious target, but they failed. I reactivated Shadow Step right after attacking, looking for another opening. My attacks also prompted the newly returned Brother Kun to make a completely unexpected decision. He called his underlings over and gave them a few orders, then immediately took his men away from the slime boss. The other guild leaders were totally confused. What's happening? Brother Kun is actually giving up the first boss kill. This is such a great chance to make a name for himself. This isn't like him at all. A few guild leaders were just about to go ask what's up, when they heard Brother Kun say loudly, 567, our guild is giving up on this boss. The name 567 stunned the guild leaders a bit. I've never heard of such a skilled player before. I smiled at Brother Kun's words. He's exactly the same as I remembered. I don't mind at all that Brother Kun revealed my ID, because once I get the first boss kill, I won't hide my ID anyway. While thinking, I threw another shadow dagger. 976 HP, the slime boss's HP bar dropped another small segment. The players who were camping at my last attack location found I appeared much further away. They must feel like they wasted all their effort. But some guilds still don't want to give up. A guy with the ID Rakshasa 1 scoffed. He thinks just because he can stealth, he's all that, huh? Flush him out now. Immediately an arrow flew into the air, exploding into a bright, glowing ball of light. I recognized this skill at a glance. It's the signature archer skill Flare. It's the natural counter to assassin class. Looks like there are a lot of skilled players among them. Can't be underestimated. But I wasn't panicking at all. It's true that Flare counters assassins, but there's a precondition. It's all about the skill priority judgment. Level 1, Flare can't reveal level 2 stealth. If they're the same level, it's all down to luck. Other than that, it depends on the skill grade. My Shadow Step has been evolved. It's already Black Iron tier, and a common tier Flare. Unless it's upgraded to level 4 or higher, won't work on me at all. So this Flare does nothing except blind all the other players. It's totally useless. Rakshasa Slasher's smile froze. Where's 567? He looked at the player next to him, who was also totally confused. My Flare is already level 3. There's no way it can't reveal an assassin. He's definitely hacking. I couldn't help but glance at that hunter player. This guy's actually got some skills. The server's only been online for so short a time, and he already got his skill to LV3. I looked back at Rakshasa Slasher and decided not to attack in the end. Wasting my precious DPS opportunities on him is completely unnecessary. I'm better off hitting the slime boss. I haven't hit the 50% decisive damage threshold yet. Can't waste my DPS. The other onlooker players waited for ages and still didn't see 567 show up, so they started mocking openly. Oh, so Rakshasa Palace talks real big, but has zero actual skills, huh? Keep your eyes open, everyone. Don't join trash guilds like this later. Rakshasa Slasher's face turned red with anger and glared viciously at the hunter beside him. I don't care what Rakshasa Slasher thinks or how the other players react. All I need to do now is keep dealing DPS to get the loot ownership. And from the current situation, it's no big deal at all. Rakshasa Slasher's failed attempt made a lot of guild leaders realize they have no way to counter 567 right now. Plus their own DPS is way too low. Even if they keep fighting, they still won't get the loot ownership. If they can't get the ownership, they can just wait for the next boss. But the guy they're offending is a top assassin, who pops up out of nowhere and one-shots everyone. If you get targeted by someone like that, you can kiss your peaceful gaming days goodbye. Several guild leaders huddled to discuss for a bit, and quickly reached an agreement. They all called back their guild members, and gave up on the boss. Of course not all guilds gave up on the boss. mainly because they also noticed my attacks aren't unlimited. One guild leader yelled loudly, "Guys, don't get scared off. That 567 can stay in stealth non-stop, yeah. But he still has to wait for skill cooldowns. Let's all hit the boss together. The loot ownership isn't fully set yet, right? If 567 wants the loot, he can't afford to get distracted attacking us. Let's just keep attacking the boss. What's he gonna do about it?" A lot of players were tempted. That actually makes sense, yeah. What are we waiting for? Let's go. Go for the first kill. Watching from not far away, the fire priest Xiaozhu said, "Guild leader, should we help 567? Do him a favor." Brother Kun shook his head and decided to stay put. He believed even without his help, I could still get the boss loot ownership. After several other guilds also gave up, the boss's HP bar dropped way slower. Without those elite players, random casual players can't deal much damage at all. I don't attack very often, but each hit deals almost 1,000 damage. As he kept watching, Brother Kun noticed another problem. Wulyuki always hits the weak points. The archer in their team also spoke in a shocked tone. This guy must be a top-level throwing knife expert IRL. I can't even aim that well with my custom bow. Who the hell is this Wulyuki anyway? At the same time, the slime boss is still on a killing spree. Its defense is too high for current players to break through. Normally, all novice village, players have to work together to wear it down. But because I showed up, that whole dynamic changed completely. It's been over 4 minutes since I started attacking. I've thrown 12 shadow daggers, dealing over 10,000 total damage. This crazy damage left a lot of players frustrated. Are we even playing the same game? And those guilds dead set on getting the first kill. We're also stuck between a rock and a hard place. Soon, 2 more guilds chose to give up and stepped aside to wait and see. They can't grab the boss, but they can hope for good drops. There's no way. Every drop is useful for 567, right? He probably won't go for stuff he can't use. Several guild leaders thought of this, so they quickly told their members to gather gold. All of a sudden, the area outside Novice Village turned into a trading spot. The slime boss is still one-shotting players, and I'm keeping up my own pace. I keep dishing out massive damage with Shadow Strike. 5 minutes later, my total damage dealt hits an incredible 26,352. The ownership of the boss's loot is clearly in my hands now. Seeing this, the remaining players who were still holding on lost all hope. They all gave up and retreated. As the number of players dwindled, the slime boss gradually ran out of targets to attack. It soon fixed its aggro on me, but it has no ability to detect stealth units, so it only leaps over the second I launch an attack, trying to one-shot this annoying enemy. The slime boss is super fast. Each jump covers more than 10 meters. What's more, when it lands, it also causes a shockwave that covers a certain area, strong enough to one-shot all current players. But I keep attacking non-stop. I casually throw a dagger that hits the slime boss right in the eye. Right after I attack, the boss immediately strikes back. It leaps violently and lands right where I was just standing, kicking up a huge cloud of dust. A shockwave like this can easily send a squishy assassin back to spawn instantly. But I was already prepared for this. I started moving as I went in for the attack, so I got out of the shockwave range in time. Finally, after taking countless daggers, the slime boss falls unwillingly and drops several glowing orbs. Congratulations, you've defeated the Black Iron tier boss. This is the first server-wide kill of this boss. You earned 3,000 EXP. Bonus reward, 20 free attribute points, 1 skill point, 10 reputation points. You have reached level 4. You received 15 additional free attribute points. Hunting time activated. You obtained 1 evolution point. The nearby players are green with envy. Too bad the loot belongs to Wulyuki. Even if they crowd over, they can't pick up a single thing. The rewards for this first boss kill fully belong to Wulyuki now. Feeling all the stares around me, I shrug my shoulders. I casually put all my attribute points into agility. 74 points of agility is something you'd only see on a level 10 player, that's for sure. As for the evolution point, I originally wanted to upgrade Shadow Dagger, but after seeing the level 3 flare in action, I decided to save it to evolve Shadow Walk. This first kill will be announced server-wide shortly. Would you like to hide your ID? I immediately choose no. Congratulations to player 567 for the first kill of Black Iron tier boss Giant Slime. We encourage all players to keep up the good work. I look at the Giant Slime's body. There are 5 whole glowing orbs around it, 4 pieces of equipment, 1 skill book. That's definitely a super lucky drop. Just as I'm marveling at my better luck, Brother Kun sends me a private friend message. 567, can you sell me the gear you don't need? Don't worry, the price will definitely be worth your while. I'm not surprised by Brother Kun's request. I know this guy pretty well. In real life, he's the heir of a multinational consortium. A top-tier wealthy second generation. He's determined to build the #1 guild in Celestial, and he's put in a ton of effort for it. Before I was reborn. Although Brother Kun's guild didn't become the top one, it was still ranked really high. In my past life, after Celestial started merging with Blue Star, it caused a huge impact on the real world. Brother Kun contributed both money and manpower. Selling to him is a pretty good choice. Thinking of that, I reply, no problem. Just then, a player notices that the slime bosses surrounding glowing orbs are gradually disappearing. That means 567 is there. Quick, use AoE skills to blanket the area. If we use enough skills, we can definitely force him out of stealth. And then all the loot will be ours. In an instant, several skills land nearby. Some players even swing their crummy daggers and slash wildly at the air. If this was before I killed the boss, I might not have dodged all these skills. But now, with 74 points of agility backing me up, the second I picked up all the drops, I was already over 10 meters away. Guess I've been too nice so far. Right after that, I throw a casual hit. Shadow Dagger targets the player who just led. The yelling and one-shots him instantly.